Red button means we're live. A casual take with your boy Stephen Pepper, here to give a take off my chest. So last night, the latest college football playoff projections dropped ahead of championship weekend. And of course, there was outrage immediately, and especially on Twitter, mostly surrounding this one team, Alabama. How can you put Alabama in the college football playoff? Well, it's because, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like me saying this, but they deserve their spot as of right now in context of it being a 12-team playoff. No, it's not because the networks want to boost ratings or they're getting godfathered in because of the ghost of Nick Saban. No, it's because out of all the teams on the bubble, they have the best resume, and that's what matters. Just like what the committee chair said last night on the broadcast, they are 3-1 versus current top 25 teams. Like, of course, they're above Miami, who played a cupcake ACC schedule and still lost 2 games and doesn't have a single ranked win to make up for it. And for the South Carolina crowd that has seemingly come out of nowhere, like, stop posting articles, stop posting essays on Twitter. If you actually want to be in the playoff, how about, I don't know, beat Alabama or Ole Miss when you get the chance to? And speaking of Ole Miss, I think they have one of the most atrocious losses of the season when they lost at home to a Kentucky team that only has 1 win against Power 4 programs, and that was to Ole Miss. So what we need to do right now is just calm down, take our Bama derangement syndrome medicine, and clear our heads and realize they deserve their spot as of right now. And at the end of the day, it's y'all's fault. It is y'all's fault. Y'all wanted the college football playoff to expand. I can't believe they left out an undefeated conference champion in Florida State. This 1 loss or 2 loss Ohio State, Georgia team always getting snubbed. They need to expand because they deserve to play for a national title. And they expanded. I mean, ESPN and all of them were like, yeah, we'll have more games. And I'm also in favor of expansion too, but I thought 6 to 8 was a sweet spot because when you expand the playoff to 12, you open the door for these 3 lost teams to get into. And these 3 lost SEC schools that play a tough schedule and have a great resume. Because in a 12-team playoff, you got your 4 Power 4 conference winners who get auto buys. And then the best conference champ of a group of 5 team also gets an auto bid. So you leave 7 wild cards remaining. And when you look at all the wild card teams, the Ohio State, Tennessee's, Penn State, Notre Dame, they're all in. There's 1 spot left on the bubble, and Bama has the best resume, even if they're 3-loss team, because they played such a great schedule. Now, for the anti-Bama crowd, there is still a chance that Alabama can miss the playoffs. If Clemson beats SMU in the ACC title game, there's a possibility that Clemson goes up to that 3 spot and they knock down SMU in favor of Alabama and out of Alabama's spot. That could happen. And if you're an Alabama fan, you're praying that SMU gets the job done. But a lot of people on Twitter are crying, oh, this is just Bama bias. Good old Bama bias. Seen this one before. And it's like, I hear it all the time when it's like the NFL's biased for the Chiefs or it used to be the Patriots. Like, sure, you can maybe try to argue that they're biased in any way, but those teams win a lot of big games. The reason why it feels like the NFL is in favor of the Chiefs is because the Chiefs win a lot of big games. I'm sorry, they just win games. Bama won a lot of good games this year. You can say they're Bama biased, but look at their schedule. Georgia, LSU, South Carolina, they got a lot of good wins in there. Missouri, Tennessee, they got a lot of good wins. They didn't beat Tennessee, but they got a lot of good wins in there. And when you look at the other guy, and this is coming from an OSU guy, by the way, I'm a Columbus native. I despise Bama. I want this run by them over. And when Saban left, I was popping bottles. But when you compare them to the bubble teams that a lot of people think should be in over them, Miami had a cupcake schedule. Miami's best wins are Duke and Louisville. That doesn't even touch Georgia and South Carolina for Alabama. Bama's best wins make up for the fact that they have 1 less loss in Miami. My boy goes to Miami. But, bro, if you wanted to be in the Hurricanes fans, then you should not have lost 2 games. Don't lose to Syracuse or Georgia Tech next time when you already have an easy enough schedule. For South Carolina, you're a hot team right now. But winning on the field matters in the regular season. And not only did you lose to Alabama, you also lost to the other bubble team in Ole Miss. And for Ole Miss, and I think it's close, the resume is between Alabama and Ole Miss, and they actually beat Georgia better than Alabama did. But that loss to Kentucky, that the fact that Kentucky went winless in the SEC, besides beating one team and that being you at your house, and then the fact that Alabama just has one more solid win, in my opinion, than Ole Miss, that is why Alabama's in. I think, honestly, the committee got it right. They did. And a lot of people can cry all over social media about this just being straight up Bama bias once again. But when you just take your Bama derangement syndrome medicine, you calm down, you clear your head, you're like, all right, the committee got it right. Bama has the best resume out of the bubble teams. But I appreciate everyone for tuning in to this episode of A Casual Take. Follow my social medias to stay updated on all things related to the show. Till next time, see you.